Imagine a motorcycle brand that's been declared dead so many times that even its own fans stopped believing in it. 13 different owners, 128 years of history, and a reputation that lived more in museum displays than on actual roads. That's Norton. And honestly, most people under 40 have never even heard of them. But right now, in 2026, Norton just pulled off what might be the most surprising comeback story in motorcycling history, and it's called the Manx R. So let's talk about how this actually happened, because the backstory matters. Norton spent decades changing hands, burning through investors, and breaking hearts. But then India's TVS Motor Company stepped in, and these guys aren't some small-time operation. TVS is literally the third largest motorcycle manufacturer on the planet, selling close to 6 million bikes a year. They pumped over £200 million into Norton, built a brand new headquarters in Solihull, England, and put together a dedicated engineering team spread across the UK, Italy, and India. For the first time in Norton's entire existence, there's real money and real muscle behind the name. That changes everything. Now let's get to the bike itself, because this is where things get really interesting. Every other superbike right now is trying to look like it rolled straight off a Motog grid, winglets everywhere. Aggressive aero bits, angry aggressive styling that screams, "Look at me." Norton went the complete opposite direction. Their head of design, Simon Skinner, described the Manx R as motorcycling's version of an Aston Martin, elegant, proportioned, and quietly confident, while all the Ducatis and Aprilius are screaming for attention. No winglets, clean flowing lines, a cockpit so tidy it almost looks simple. And honestly, photos don't do it justice. In person, this thing is genuinely stunning in a way that feels almost nostalgic, like sport bikes from 20 years ago when they were art as much as machines. Under that beautiful bodywork lives an all-new 1,200cc, 72-degree liquid-cooled V4 engine. And this motor was built with a very specific mission. CTO Brian Gillen, who previously engineered bikes at MV Agusta, logged over 135,000 miles of testing on real roads with real riders. And the data confirmed something we all kind of already knew. Most sport bike riders spend almost all their time between 3,000 and 7,000 revolutions per minute, so instead of chasing crazy peak power numbers, Gillen built an engine that absolutely floods you with torque right where you actually need it. Peak power sits at 206 horsepower, but more importantly, 80% of the torque is already available by 7,000 revolutions per minute on the road. This translates to something special. You can sit in third gear and just surf this enormous wave of mid-range grunt without ever needing to wring its neck. And if you do let it scream to the 12,500 revolutions per minute red line, the exhaust note that comes out of this thing will give you actual goosebumps riding it on the road. Road mode felt almost too good to be true, smooth, strong, confidence-inspiring. Then sport mode hit, and suddenly it felt like a completely different animal. Aggressive, almost too aggressive, demanding real respect from your right wrist. Even rain mode had a surprising amount of punch, which was honestly a little concerning thinking about actually using it in the wet. On the track, the brakes deserve their own paragraph. Norton claims 1 gram of deceleration under maximum braking, and after experiencing it lap after lap, that claim feels completely real. The Brembo Hypure calipers are absolutely savage, the kind of braking performance where you're sailing past markers you'd normally brake at on any other bike. The rear wheel slide control is also genuinely brilliant and ridiculous fun, letting you step the rear out under braking while the ABS keeps everything from going catastrophically wrong. There are some rough edges though. The chassis geometry needed a fixed mid-vent. The bike was too heavy to steer at low speeds until the team made a suspension adjustment. The quick-shifter software needs tightening up for track use. And the electronics, while comprehensive, aren't fully independent. You can't adjust traction control on the fly. And the semi-active suspension is locked to the ride modes rather than being freely adjustable. Hardcore track riders will want more control. But here's the thing, Norton knows exactly who this bike is for. This is the sport bike for the rider who wants something beautiful, fast, and genuinely usable every single day. Not someone obsessing over lap times. At around $50,000 for the top signature spec. It's not cheap, but it's an astonishing achievement for a motorcycle that didn't even exist 2.5 years ago. The engine is a masterpiece, the brakes are savage, and the whole thing looks like nothing else in the segment. With TVS's backing, 3 more models already confirmed, and OTA software updates built in to iron out the remaining rough spots, Norton's future finally looks as strong as its history. After 128 years and 13 owners, it really does feel like they're back. For real this time.